Voila. So can we all see them screens now?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, okay, sorry for the delayed start, but my name's Charlotte. I'm the volunteer coordinator at Healthwatch Bury. And today we're meeting with Bury2gether. And we're going to have a nice chat about what they can do for the community with the nice work that they have been doing and answer any questions that you lovely people may have. So, before we start, we do have some guidelines because this is a live session and we want to be inclusive of everybody. So be accepting, please. Everybody is welcome, regardless of race, ethnicity, national origin, anything from your sexual orientation to your gender identity or ability. We're just going to respect everybody that's involved and show everybody the respect that they deserve, basically. That being in mind, we're going to respect other people's boundaries. Some people may share different opinions. We're not here to argue. We're here to share information and use our own minds at the end of the day. So we don't need to be rude. We can be nice. Again, respectful is key. So that's all we care. All right, lovely. So we're also going to ask you not to flood the chat, please. We'd like to keep the conversation going. We do have the lovely Anne-Marie checking your comments and responding to you. But if it gets flooded, that gets harder to do and we could possibly miss some questions and not be able to give you the information you want, which is important. No self-promoting. We are here to discuss a certain issue today. So we'd like to stay focused on that if possible. Obviously, if you've got anything to contribute towards the subject in hand, that is amazing. And we welcome that. But if it's something completely off topic, we'd ask you to save that for another day, please. And we're going to keep it clean. We obviously don't want any swear words or vulgarness or nastiness coming onto the stream. We want it to be a nice, safe place. So we're just going to introduce Healthwatch Bury to you, which is who I work for, first of all. Then Bury2gether can take over for us, and they're going to tell us a lot about the work that they're doing. And then our lovely Steph and our host is going to do some questions and answers, have a bit of a discussion, and try and get to the nitty gritty of what we all need to know at the end of the day. So Healthwatch in itself is your health and social care champion, basically. So we make sure the NHS leaders and other decision makers hear your voice and that they can use your feedback to improve their care. We do research into seeing how you're feeling about things. And we're very interested to hear any information that you have in the local area. So please do get in touch. We like to listen to your experiences and what you've had going on really with the health and social care services within your area, because we want to share them with people that have the power to maybe change it if something isn't working. So it's important that your voices do get heard. And we can also provide you with information and advice on any health and social care issue. If you get in touch with us, we can help support you through any processes you need to go through. We do that by signposting you to local or online support groups for parents, maybe, the others than just parents. I don't know why it's just parents, but yeah, information and advice around your child's healthcare. I think this is specifically because we were on Bury2gether, actually. I think that's why this slide is here, because they are dealing with children with special educational needs, if I'm right, Martin. And yeah, listen to your experiences of using health and social care services within Bury. So if there's something that's concerning you with regards to your child or you're looking for some sort of advice, Bury2gether will tell you everything that they can help with in this time. And here are our contact details. We will put these up again at the end, but in the meantime, I'm just going to hand over to Martin. He'll be able to tell you everything that he's doing at the moment, which would be nice. So Martin.
Yes, I'll give you an overview of what Bury2gether is all about. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Martin. I'm the deputy chair of Bury2gether. I, like all the people at Bury2gether, am a volunteer. I have two children on the autism spectrum, and all of our parent carer volunteers have children with some form of special educational need or disability, or disability. So we are the DfE approved parent carer forum for Bury. There is a parent carer forum or there should be a parent carer forum in every area, every borough. And the function of a parent care forum, I suppose, is similar in a way to the function of Healthwatch, in that we gather the views of the parent carers in our area, and we represent them at board level with the CCG and local authority and any services that support our families. To do this, we have parent reps that sit on these boards, which, like I say, come from a wide range of backgrounds and with children with different additional needs. In addition to that, at Bury Together, because we've got a really passionate group of parents there, we provide a peer support service as well. That's like I say, a voluntary side of it. We put on coffee mornings. We during the pandemic we sent out like sensory packs to families, and just to get people feeling connected and feel like there was still support out there when everything else seemed to have gone away. And we run events whenever we can, you know, for parents and carers, just again to create that sort of community support. And we do this around the Send Hub that we're lucky to be in Radcliffe. We have currently, I think, just over 1,000 members. I've got the figures that 1,029 members at the moment. Social media reach of 2,600. And so that's the social media page is a really good support network. People go on there, ask questions, invariably are a really knowledgeable group of parents. There's always somebody with the correct answer in there. But as I say, the main function of the Parent Carer Forum is to be there to sort of hold to account and challenge and represent the views of parent carers and provide that overview and scrutiny role similar to Healthwatch for local authority and CCG services to do with SEND. And the children that we represent go right from 0 to 25. So, you know, it's quite a wide age group, quite a wide varying people with backgrounds. So it's yeah, it's an interesting job and place to work.
Sounds lovely. I like that the social media is being used and they all support each other as well, and they can go and ask questions. I think that's lovely.
I think that's probably our greatest resource, because yeah, parents, there's always somebody else who's been through it before, and that in itself is a support, but then getting the knowledge that they've, you know, already gained is just really useful.
Well, that's it, that reassurance that it's not just you. It's not just you.
Yes.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It happens. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, right, Steph, if you're ready, have you got ready for your question and answer session, Martin? Let's grill you.
Hi, Martin. How you getting? I know we've met before, and I've met.
We have. It's been a while.
A few vlogs for Bury Together. So there's a few questions I'd like to ask. Obviously, we talked about the sensory packs. Now, obviously, lockdown was a very challenging time for all of us, but I suppose for families and children with SEND, it sort of like was a bit more challenging, you know, because they have routines and stuff. So what was the feedback from them like packs? Was it quite positive? Did it help people?
Yes, the feedback from that was immensely positive. I mean, it was a really nice thing too, because obviously when we got shut down for the pandemic, got locked down, we used to have you know, we used to put events on and bring people in for coffee mornings, and we were thinking, well, everybody's now stuck at home, what can we do? So we went out there and we raised funds for, and it wasn't just sensory packs, we did packs for Easter, Halloween, for whatever, and basically just put things together, little gift packs of things, and our volunteers went out and delivered them to families. And so it was lovely to actually see people at a safe distance, obviously, you know, sort of face to face on the driveways, and the feedback was just really positive, that not just the practical things that they got in the packs, which were nice for the children to get, but just that feeling connected, and that they weren't on their own. You know, we were all there in it together. It was, yeah, the feedback was immensely positive.
And obviously you mentioned in the presentation that, you know, it's run by parent carers who have got children with SEND themselves. So am I right in thinking you're only available, or your services are only available during term time, because you will have children to look after yourself, you know, during school holidays?
Yeah, so yes, the official Parent Carer Forum, and this is the same for pretty much all Parent Carer Forums. Generally, yeah, it's term time, school hours that we're available, because outside of that, yeah, we have our own care and responsibilities. But as with any sort of volunteer group, and when you've got a group of people that are passionate, which we really do have, they work well outside those hours, you know, into evenings and during school holidays. So we tend to find that, especially now during school holidays, there'll be events being put on and things being done, just because we know that that's what we want, and that's what other parents want. And so, yeah, we do work outside of our hours, but as in volunteer, you know, it's a purely sort of volunteer thing. The official DFE forum does work just term time, yeah.
And one of the things that I really want to ask, because I'm 29, so I'm above 25, but a lot of these disability services, they only cater for people with SEND up to the age of 25, and obviously, there's plenty of people like myself who've got SEND problems, who get isolated, and like myself, and from what I do with my Butterfly Princess show, is that I want to break down barriers, and it's so one of the questions is for me, and I suppose any person would want to know is, why is it that services and that support stop when you reach the age of 25?
Yes, it is difficult. It's always difficult when there's kind of a cut off, a cliff edge where you have this thing. So that age range that the forum it covers that is set by the DFE. That's their remit as parents and carers of children 0 to 25. Now, as a forum, as a group of parents, we recognise that obviously post that, you don't at 25, you don't all of a sudden not need any peer support groups, you don't, or groups to help you along the way. So we do have links with other groups that, that are older. So there's Stepping Stones and Stars, and we would obviously signpost people obviously well before children get to 25 to say these are good groups to maybe start joining before that age, so that there's hopefully there's a seamless support through there and groups to go to. But yes, unfortunately it's for the forum, it's set by the DFE that's the age group. But I understand what you're saying, Steph, that all of a sudden at 25 you don't just change it, and so there needs to be other groups to move on to.
And obviously you work very closely with a lady at Bury Council. I'm forgetting, is it Casa Taylor?
Oh yes, so Cash is the parent engagement officer there. Yeah.
So obviously you have a lot of dealings with her, and obviously is that the new centre at Ratcliffe, is that fairly open? Because obviously when I did vlogs for you, I did it at the Brandlesham Centre. So is that a new centre at the Ratcliffe one?
Yes, so when we shut down for the pandemic, obviously to shut the building down and sort of couldn't use it, and it got taken over as a food bank, which obviously was necessary at the time. So when we were during the pandemic, the council found us another building to use. Obviously, we still couldn't use it initially, so we've only been in it probably getting on for about 9 months now, 10 months. It's been actually open. So we had the small disabled toilet converted into a larger changing places toilet, so that can be used. And there's still work ongoing. We've managed to get the building, because it was an old library. So again, with volunteers and some other kind volunteers from Radcliffe, from other groups, came in and helped us sort of renovate the building. We've recently won funding to turn one of the small rooms into a sensory room. So we've moved into that building, and it's ongoing, the work there. So Bury2gether sort of rent space in that building to use it for their official work, and then for the volunteer work groups that they run as well.
Thank you. And two more questions. One is, how do people sign up? If you want to become a member, or they want the child to join any groups?
So dead simple to join us, and I will get our addresses up in a second because I don't want to get them wrong. So I'll get them up on my phone and make sure. But yeah, so there's our website is the easiest way. If you pop on there, there's a membership form, and then once you've joined up as a member, you can join. Obviously, you can join our open Facebook page at any time. Anybody can join on there and have a look on it. But there's also we have a private parent carer Facebook chat group that once you've joined up as a member you can join that, and we keep that as a sort of a private group for sort of members, just so that parents can go on and chat to each other in confidence and just sort of have a rant if they want to, or ask questions if they need to, or share funny stories or anything useful that they find. But the easiest way would be to pop onto our website and just join up on there. There's a form to fill in to sign up.
So obviously you have like regular things, so like regular sessions. So when I did some vlogs for you, I vlogged about the same youth group, and you have like, you know, training sessions for like parents to do with mental health or anything like that. So are they still up and running?
Yes, so the way that we do this is we're very much led by our parents, by our membership. So if we get a number of parents contacting us, for instance, saying that they have trouble finding getting the children to sleep and they would like a sleep clinic, we go out and see if we can raise funds and find a provider to come in and just do a sleep clinic, or a sensory one, or whatever parents tell us that they want. Before the pandemic, and we're hoping to get back to this, we also tried to do a lot of stuff around sort of self-care for parent carers as well. So we had people coming and do mindfulness sessions and things like this still. So it's whatever parents tell us they want, we go and try and find either the volunteers or the money to do it, or both, and then we put it on. It's just whatever's needed, really.
And just one more after that. Obviously, mentioning the youth group. Now, I don't know if that's up and running yet. I'm not sure, because obviously you had to stop it when COVID was about. But when I went and vlogged for it, I saw that there was quite a lot of children who went there, but you know, the parent carer had to stay with them. So obviously that's something you advise.
Yeah, so one of the reasons for that obviously is because we're run by parent carer volunteers and we're not run by paid staff. It's difficult to ask volunteers to sort of look after a group of say 20 children on their own, and also there's there's insurance and DBS checks as well. All our volunteers very soon will all be DBS checked, but we'd still always ask parent carers to stay at the moment. But what we are hoping for in the future is to be able to, if we can raise enough funds to have paid staff to stay with the right qualifications to look after children, then that give parents a bit of a break as well. But what we always try and do is make sure that there's plenty of volunteers, so that when parents come along, they've got chance to sit down and have a cup of tea and chat to each other and chat to us, and there's always somebody there, another set of eyes to help keep an eye and entertain the little people. And we're still developing our outside spaces, which is really useful in the summer, and they're all nice and secure. But we are currently planning a kind of a recruitment drive, because obviously the more volunteers we have, the more of these things we can do, and the easier it is to give people a break and be able to put those events on. But yeah, so look out for that. It'll be on our website soon.
Okay, thank you. Well, there's no more from me. Is there anything in the comments?
Not at the moment. I do have a question actually, Martin, just before we stop. So obviously you're doing some very adaptive work here, and I'm very impressed that you'll see sort of what they need to do and then just make it happen. I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. So my question is more around schooling, and if you can advise around that. So we've known quite a few parents really that get very confused. Sometimes you can be incredibly frustrated when you don't feel you're being taken seriously as a parent. And I've seen these struggles myself several times. So is this something that you can offer support with as well? Can you get involved with schools directly? Can you talk to them on their behalf if they're feeling a bit, shut in about it?
Yeah, we can help. We don't get involved with schools directly for two reasons. So there's two ways that we'd help. Is as volunteers and as parents, we'd be there for that peer support, and we'd support ourselves and also encourage people to talk to through the parent care group chat and things like that, and get that peer support. And we always say to anybody, you know, our doors are always open. If somebody's having a bad time, they want to come in and have a brew with a parent that will understand. We are there and we do understand, and so we, you know, come in and sit down and have a brew. As far as talking to schools directly from the official, so you know, the DfE function, we wouldn't speak to individual schools directly, because we don't advocate for individual parents. That's one of the things that we're not allowed to do as a forum. We can only advocate for parents as a whole. So if we got several parents coming to us with a similar issue, maybe with different schools, maybe with the same school, we would be able to take it to the local authority and bring it up there, raise it as a strategic issue. This is an issue that parents are coming to us with, and they're having these issues with schools. Could somebody within, and then somebody within, say, the inclusion team in the local authority would then take that up with the individual school. So we do support and we do represent them, but we can't do it for individual parents. But it's always worth, if anybody's having issues, either email us or ring us, or come in and see us and let us know, because we do collate it all, and as soon as there's a number of parents reporting the same issue, we go straight back to whoever it is that needs to know about it, raise the issue so that they know that there's a problem there.
You can put them on their path. You can give them the direction that they'll need.
We're
basically,
definitely
that's
signposting
brilliant.
in the right direction, definitely.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I think we might be a bit of a disadvantage with this live with regards to people commenting and getting their questions to us because of the timing that we've decided to do it, maybe. So what I suggest, if you're all right with it, Martin, is that if people watch this and they have any questions, if they can put it as a comment, if you're happy to, if we get in touch, we can get round to them questions for them as well, and direct them. Another thing I just wanted to double check as well. Would you mind sharing some of the information for the services post for when people are after 25? Because it might be worth us actually sharing some information around that as well. Because, you know, as Steph has said, if that's something that's popped in her head, it's probably popped in quite a few other people's heads as well.
I can get a list together
nice.
of the groups that we know of, and we'll pass it on. I can also ask the question on our group chat. I'm sure loads of our parents have got some fantastic groups that they know of.
Lovely, that'd be so helpful for us. Thank you so much.
Problem.
Right, well, just want to say thank you for your time today, Martin. It sounds like you're doing some amazing work over there. Love it. Love hearing about it. Big thank you to Steph from Butterfly Princess for hosting our questions and answers session. We've loved that. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you very much to everybody that's managed to watch. If you do have any questions, please put them into the comment section. As Martin said, we'll get them answers to you. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye.
Take care now. Bye.